Here's how season 5 of The Boys can be perfect. First of all, I need a Ryan redemption arc in the final season, having him like join up with the boys, help in the fight against Homelander. I know right now he's kind of unforgivable for what he did to my homie Mallory, but we do have to keep in mind that Ryan is still a kid, very confused with everything going on, being a soup, having Billy Butcher and Homelander to decide between, and then Mallory did just come in and handle this in the worst way possible. I'm not saying Ryan was right, but I feel like he can still be forgiven if he joins the boys in the end. You know Soldier Boy is going to be back because of the end of season 4, and I'm not gonna lie, I need a ton of Soldier Boy in this season of The Boys. He was what made season 3 so incredible, and I still really love season 4, but you could definitely tell it was missing his presence. He was just such a great character that added so much to the show. I really want him to try and just be like his own independent free agent guy, just roaming around. He's not really on the boys side or Homelander side. He's just doing whatever he feels is right in the moment. I'd love to see some scenes of him versus like the entirety of the Seven, seeing him take out a couple of the characters like Firecracker and Noir, and obviously if he ultimately kills Homelander, that would also be incredible to see, but I just need a major focus on Soldier Boy in this next season. I am so glad that A-Train ended up surviving season 4. He had a great redemption and got to go off with his family into safety. Like, I am so happy that all of that happened, but I also really want him to come back in season 5, maybe teaming up with Starlight and freeing all the boys from the prisons or wherever they're being held captive. I would also love it if he did survive season 5 too and made it all the way through the end of the show. It doesn't seem likely if he does come back, but I would just love to see more of this character again because he literally became one of my favorite because of this last season. He was just so good in it. I'm really hoping the season gives Ashley some really iconic moments because she's like going to the only characters in the show that I feel like hasn't had like that one big scene, but now that she has the compound V in her, she's going to be a soup. There's a lot of potential here. A couple things I think they could do with her character. One would obviously be joining the boys since she's running away from Homelander and the Seven and all his soups that are pretty much just in his army now. So seeing her team up with the boys could be cool depending on what power they actually give her. Another thing I think would be cool, assuming A-Train does come back, if Ashley ends up making some big like sacrifice with her powers to save A-Train, I think that would be an awesome scene for this character. But I just really hope they do something cool with her Compound V storyline and don't kind of push her to the side and kind of make her a very minor part of the season. I want her to be a big focus actually. I might be asking for too much knowing what the show's about, but I would love to see a happy ending for Starlight and Huey, maybe them actually getting married for real, like a real proposal after that shapeshifter incident would hit so hard in the final season at the very end. These are literally like two of the most pure and wholesome characters in the show. Yes, they've both messed up at different points, but I feel like they just deserve to actually live throughout the entire show and have a happy ending, but I'm probably asking for way too much. I would also accept a happy ending for both Frenchie and Kamiko, but I feel like there's a 0% chance that both of these couples make it out purely alive and together. As long as we get one of them all the way through the end of the show, I will be happy. I feel like Frenchie and Kamiko is not likely to happen. One of these feels like they're definitely dying. My money is on Frenchie. This might be controversial, but I don't want Newman to come back from the dead or appear in the last season in any way, shape, or form. Now listen, it's not because I don't like the character. I love Newman as a character. I think she was incredible in the first couple seasons of this show, but she had an amazingly shocking death in season 4. It completely changed the events of the show, and if she just comes back and she's like, oh, actually, I survived that, I feel like it's just gonna take away from that amazing season final. And plus, I'm so tired of just so many different superhero projects never really killing off the heroes and having them come back. Even The Boys was doing this at the end of season 3. I feel like people like Maeve should have just actually died at that end, so hopefully they just leave Newman dead here. Both Homelander and Butcher 100% need to die by the end of the show. We've been building to this from the very first episode of the show pretty much, and even these last couple of seasons, it's felt like both of them really should have died in multiple different places, but they were obviously just trying to keep them both alive for a big final season, and I'm not mad about that. I'm happy they're both here for the final season, but by the very end, they both need to just be done and gone. I would also love to see the show take some notes from Stranger Things season 4 and make every episode just almost a movie in length, like an hour and 20 minutes is what those Stranger Things episodes were pretty much at minimum. And obviously that's only if the story that they have can fill up that amount of time for 8 different episodes, but we have so many different characters and storylines here all converging into one. I feel like they could easily have enough content to make this a longer season. If they don't do that, maybe 10 episodes. We also know it's very likely that they want to milk this series for as much as they can get out of it with different spin-offs, continuing Gen V and stuff like that after the show ends, which I'm honestly okay with as long as the show itself has a definitive ending for like most of these characters. It kind of circles back to me saying that Butcher needs to die. Like, I don't want him surviving and them showing up in like Gen V seasons 3 and 4 and other spin-offs. I want his story to be done. Same with Huey, MM, Frenchie, and most of the Seven really. Like, I just want all these characters to either end up dying or just have a conclusive end, and if you do any spin-offs, just don't have it affect the end of this main show. Leave this story where it is. Let me know something that you desperately want to see in season 4 of The Boys, and click here to watch another video about The Boys season 5 on my channel right now.